Boom. Alrighty, hey everybody. I'm Rob the Builder. Can we build it? Yes, we can. How you doing, David and her ladyship? Now, Bassman is not going to be on for a little while. Hopefully, he will be on later. I believe he has some family things to do, as one does. Now, in the meantime, I will be continuing my work on the Corsair. And I might do other work too, depending on how we go for time. These are the things. So, with all that said and done, we'll just move around a bit. Do the traditional oh fuck yeah. Now, round we come. Now, where am I? Where am I? As in, what am I? That's what I wished to do. Okay, now, there's a few things we can consider, actually. First, we'll pop this over to here. Now, assembly instructions. Because what I'm thinking is I want to put that part with that part. I'll show you what that step is and what I'm referring to. What I'm referring to is step one. And basically, the only step part we've got to do next is get this up into there. Now, the reason I want to do that now is because with some of the more delicate photo etch, I think it would be a good idea. Well, when you're fiddling around, there's a good chance that you're going to knock some of the really delicate stuff off. So I'm figuring do it now. That is my theory. Now, my only concern here is how well, how tightly. Oh no. Oh, Tamiya, go you. Yeah, that'll fit nicely. Alright, and then I've just got to work out how I want to go about. In fact, I even can work that out quite easily. Getting the remaining photo etch on. That's the. Oops, sorry, I just need to zoom out. Maybe move that around that way. So, on that basis, we shall slice there. With really delicate stuff, even that amount of vibration can knock it off. I've had delicate parts, like actually parts of the kit snap when hit with sprue cutters. So that's why I'm getting a bit delicate. Or getting it done now. Because most of those are fairly substantial parts, it shouldn't be a problem. Now, how to go about this? I know how. Give me a moment. Let's just so it would slide into there. Easiest way, I think, I'll just put a double glue there and then just slide it on in. That's how that happens. Now, I'm not entirely. Alright. Now, next, we shall glue. I believe it was this one that was the one we were using. Yes. Oh, yes. Now, there we go. That's plenty. Now, there we go. go. Now comes the tricksy part. You come here. And beautiful. For the most part. Yep. Need to reglue that. That's okay. But for the most part, I could even potentially. Oh no, I would prefer to reglue. But that's how I think that's actually almost. I know there is a small gap. So now with all the seating in, boom. Here's our I knocked that a little. I wouldn't mind re-gluing it. I need to consider how and where. But we'll worry about that once that's dried a bit. Now, zooming out. Actually, I might zoom in a bit more than that. That's probably a bit far. Now, next. That was it. I wanted to get a bit onto that, which is to say the yoke. Once I find it. Because that goes in through there. Then we are, in fact, well on the way. We can even put the clear bit in there. It's all coming together at this point. And after that, it's all pretty straightforward, guys. We can even get some of this sort of shit done, really. I mean, there's nothing to stop us doing all these along the way of what we're doing, although some parts we need to do require painting. So we'll probably get into some of that. But yeah, it's coming together. Now, next on our agenda, that was it. Where is, give me a moment, I'll find them. Yes, I will. Or what it, more's the point, what I'm looking for is the yoke mechanism. And it's around here somewhere. This I know. And it's playing hide and seek, which I do not appreciate. No, I do not. If it keeps hiding, I'll just get onto something. Aha! I see you. Here it is. Now this goes in. Oh, hey Manuel, how are you doing? Right, so we're going to go in. That way? No. That way. Yes. Oh, yes. And then that will go in. We'll do it from this angle, I would suggest. Once I spot the... it's all very straightforward. Jolly good. All right. Well, let's do it. Actually, just seeing these next to the engine things has me wondering. Very quickly. What have I just knocked on the floor? The photo itch instructions. Yay. Now, give me a moment. How does this engine go together? I could even, although I haven't varnished this part yet. I'm going to say I can't varnish that part and then come back and do it. I probably won't. But even that's a separate thing we can get onto. This. Once we've got that thing in, this I want painted. Because now it's over here somewhere. Give me a moment. It's a strange looking little thing. So I might just keep my eye out for it whilst I am fiddling around. It's a strange little part, but it's the thing that fills the cockpit area. Yeah. And I trimmed it off after gluing it so that together, we had to trim it off to glue it together. I've done that, and I'm just looking for it now because I want to get on to painting it. Anyway, in the meantime, sprue cutters. Always get a bit nervous around delicate parts with sprue cutters, but we are good. Winning! Now, next on the agenda is, we'll place this here. I'm going to get that out of the way for a moment. Still having a quick gander for those that part, or those parts that are glued together. You wouldn't think they'd be hard to spot because they form like a little pyramid. Anyway, so don't drop it, Rob, or you'll be grumpy. I don't want to be grumpy. No, I do not. This then simply in theory, bit too tight. I don't want to force this, obviously. How to do this? Rubbing. I think I can even see the problem. Yeah, okay. How to deal with this one? This is going to require some very delicate filing. It sounds like a contradiction in terms, but what more is will be more about is cleaning out a little spot just at the bottom here, I reckon. Might even be well served to get a scalpel out on this one, because it'll just, well, do what scalpels do. What the fuck is that doing over there? And hopefully clear that spot out quite quickly. That's the theory. That is my theory. That's a Messerschmitt part, not a... Aha! Found it! Giggity. Have a giggity there. All right, let's see how we go. Now, that way, and yeah, that's all it required. Beautiful. So what we're going to do, I'm wondering if crystal clear might be the geo on this, and it might, just because it'll be visible. That's my sole piece of reasoning there, although what I can do, and I will do, just a little touch there. Come on. There we go, I think. Yeah. There we go. Now, with that there, actually I will put a touch of crystal clear in, just for good measure. And then got a little clumsy there, but again, it's crystal clear, it doesn't matter. These are the rules. This is the joy of this. There we go. Now we'll just pop this over to here. Bing. And you come here. And what do there you go. It's clearly one of those things of needing to get the angle right. Now I'll just, oops, a daisy. Now, because I want to keep that in that position, I'll probably show you this one from a vertical angle. Just for ease of purpose while that's drying. So we go, bam. Whoop. Other way, Rob. Other way. And whoop. Don't worry about the fact that it's blurry at the moment, guys. This will be fixed in due course. Oh, hang on, hang on. How hard can this? I see what the issue is. There, right. Zoom in. So there, with the mechanism in place, is our dashboard and footwell area. So that's coming along. Zoom in a bit. All right, mouthful of coffee. Next, what we do is, yes, now, there's a few things I wished to paint. In our nose. It's going to be, oh no, I can work with that. What I'm knowing about is that the color I wish to paint with, well, I can do the front part, I'll work out the rest later. It's actually an airbrush thing, I think. It needs to be that same, this is our, this, I'll show you where it goes on the fuselage, just so as you can get a grasp of what I'm trying to fathom here. I need to be a bit delicate with this part, it's got photo etch on it. This, ultimately, I'll zoom out a bit, that's a bit too close. That's a bit too far. Goes here, sort of a thing, if you follow me, into the cockpit. It forms the back of the cockpit. So I'm assuming that that needs to be the same color as the fuselage. Now, the only issue I'm having is that the whatchamacallit, the paint I got for this is an airbrush paint, which I'm going to have to airbrush anyway. What I might do is paint all the stuff there that I don't want as dark blue, and then we shall just mask up an airbrush with the rest. That's what I think I will do. That's my plan. That's my plan, Stan. Now, still, by the looks of it, there's still a few colours to go there, because I would suggest, I'll give you a zoom in. Now, you'll notice these. And I would suggest that that probably needs to be natural steel, because, or oily steel, because that's where the, I'm assuming the canopy would slide back on. That's my theory. This area around that raised triangle would need to be interior green. As to what the raised triangle is, we'll look at the assembly instructions on that one. Yeah, I'm pretty pleased with how large parts of this are coming together. Now, I would say, let me just check the angle on that, make sure it's still staying nice. It is good. And you would have heard me say a few times, in fact, that it, to me, is tidy work in this capacity as far as the kit they supply you with really goes a long way to yeah, I'm correct in what I'm saying there as far as you would need necessarily. Okay, here we go. Right, here we go. Yeah, boom. So yeah, that needs to be that color, but with that little metal runner. All right. The other thing I need to consider is I need to paint that color. Now, I could also consider the reality that maybe I'm just being a wee bit pedantic. Me, heaven forfend. Decisions. Oh wow, it does have white. Interesting. What I'm interesting about is this. I thought it was just light blue, but no, there's white as well. So how's that wrong? Interesting. All right. I'll show you what I'm oohing and ahhing about in a minute, guys. It goes like this. I thought, erroneously as it happens, that, I'll bring you back a bit, and I need to zoom you out pretty heavily here. Here we go. Here we go. I thought that all the undercarriage was light blue. This is in fact not the case. And there's a point, because as you can see, what it actually is there's white here, but a lot of light blue there. Now, what I'm thinking is that in this circumstance, and part of the light blue is very precise. The light blue seems almost precise, up the top at least. So what I'd probably do in this circumstance is, when it comes to the airbrushing, white first. The white also encompasses the, you can see it curves in here, so it's quite precise. And there's a little tricks there. Alrighty, interesting. Oh, wait, no, this one's slightly different again. Fundamentally the same, but this instance, the curve goes all the way to the front. Deary, deary me. Now, all of that discovered, that doesn't get me any closer to deciding how I wish to address. I know what I'll do for today, because I don't need to get that done immediately. I really don't. Now, what we'll do, where's our interior green? Ah, and quickly, I forgot to check. I would suspect the headrest is red or some such. It's frequently the case. Black. Okay. We can do that. In fact, I'm quite happy to do that with an acrylic, then to seal it with varnish. Now, grab our bit of card. Hey, you're mucky muck. Don't really need them. Oh, that's just erupting. Oh, look, it's a boy. There we go. That's plenty. Straight away. Now, I might get my goggles on for this. And after this, we'll do some oily steel. So, let me just move the camera a little. Zoom in perhaps a touch. Oop, wrong way. Wrong way, Rob. Wrong. Fuck's sake. Now, if that's there. There we go. And all we're doing here is two colours. Once they're dry, or once this one's dry more particularly, we will apply interior green. It doesn't matter too much if I'm a little clumsy here. Now, my headset did its dropout thing. So all that is just that little headrest. That's it. Next, we'll rinse. Let's rinse. Now, actually, I've got a bit of an urge to paint the nameplate at some stage today. I do. Now, in the meantime, however, oily steel is what we seek. Being that's natural steel over there. Boom. Come to Papa. And this again is not going to be a substantial. It's something I wouldn't mind having a quick look at. The interior green would go all the way to there. There's a bit of jiggery pokery on it. All right. Anyway. Sorry guys. Just smack the camera around a bit there. As you do. All right. And this just along. Yeah, it's a bit thick, but I don't mind. I really, really don't. Because of course I've got to do the blue colour over that. Now, and all right. So all I've done there is, and focus. It's done a little metal line there, which is going to be where the canopy would get taken backwards. These are the things. Zoom out. Now, next. Now, I don't want to do too much more on the cockpit interior at the moment, or at least on those two parts that I've already worked on, so I want the glue to settle. However, there's still quite a lot of stuff we can do, and we will do. So, you know, because if I get some things into a point, actually, here's another one we can do. The propeller. We can finish the propeller. Long and the short of it, depending on how, actually, I wouldn't mind having a quick little gander the assembly sheet instructions, because I reckon the steps are separate enough that if I do certain steps at certain points, I can just go there and go, that step goes with that step goes with that step, which would not be a bad little outcome. Now, where did I put them? Oh, here they are. Now, and I'm almost certain that is the case, and that being so, I'm quite happy to get stuck in that way if you follow me, because then it might be a matter of days before we're done, which wouldn't be all bad now. All right. Well, these got to go on, so we'll do that. Give me a moment. I'll show you what I mean shortly. In these wings, actually, these aren't fully finished, so let's finish these off. Oh, look at the messiness on my hands, I ask you. Now, I might get a fresh bit of card because we're running out of space there. What I need here is, I wouldn't mind in some, oh no, they're okay. I wouldn't mind hitting these with some oily steel, I reckon, or oily or natural steel. Now, what I'll do in the meantime, grab a fresh piece of cardboard. Might zoom in a bit. Now, what I'm talking about here, just so as you know, these ribs. I'm going to do them natural steel. And there's nothing else in there to work with, so we'll do that. And that's remiss of me. I'm just thinking while I'm here, I might as well as see if there's anything here that needs tidying up. There's a couple of bits, but we'll get onto that in due course. So, if I'm going to be here, that'll work. All right. Now, acero engrasado. Boom. Oily steel. Now, something I wouldn't mind doing is, before I get onto this even, I wouldn't mind hitting these and this with some varnish. Now there's a reason for that, because when that dries, which will be before the end of the string, because if I do that now, then paint this, then it comes to this, we can hit that with some Nuln Oil. Yes, we can. And then when that dries, we can put the engine together. Getting some plans happening now. This is good. This is very good. Now, that being so, or that plan being so, here is, we're going to put onto this stuff as, hang on, a varnish. And I gotta say, I do dig it. It's really good. Now, I'm going to take my bling down or bling off, at least my hands, for this purpose, because you don't want to be getting varnish on your hands or on your bling. Even, well, it's got to be under a glove anyway, but you know, probably rip the glove. Now. Give us a shape straight away. Now, it won't take me long to do the varnishing. I'll just duck out the back and away we'll go, sort of a deal. So this and these. Let's slip into something a little more comfortable. Okay, I'll be back very, very shortly. Unfortunately, I can't keep my headset on because of the lead. I'll just have to be quick. Back in a minute, guys. Really? And I'm back. Thank you for your patience. Now, bling goes up. That one goes onto this finger. This finger. This finger. Now, there we go. Now, while they're drying, let's get some oily steel action going. I was going to go natural steel, wasn't I? It doesn't make that many odds. I'm being a pedant. Although oily steel looks a bit dirty, which I think is probably preferable. All right. Now, okay. Now then, we're going to want a very crisp brush for this occasion. Oops. There we go. It is the sizzle, that's it is crisp. All right, doing this. Yes, we are. Now I might bring you back just a touch, as the camera that is, but zoom in a bit too. There we go. Now that should enable you. Maybe raise it up a bit. Oh no, that'll do. Now, what I want to do here we go. And then, actually I'll do that as a long beam there. Now, and it ends. It doesn't go all the way up. Interesting. There we go. Next, we'll go to this one. We'll finish that lower bar there. I started here. Thin that paint out a bit. Right, now I'll do this corresponding bar here. Around that way. And down here. There we go. Now, next, do all the stuff that's on this angle, then flip over and do all the stuff on that angle. If you'll soon see what I mean. So we come right into here and out. And the thing is, I find anyway, that if you're going to want to get into an angle, from the outside and in is how you want to do this. Because, this is just my take on it, if you go from, try to get across, ultimately that's not quite, I find you run out of space. Now, clumsy there, that's okay. Small touch up in the zinc chromate, that's alright. Particularly as almost no one will notice, but I will tidy it up because that's just the way I roll. One more. And cross. All right, we're getting there. Starting to look quite tidy. Now I'll do the upper ones. Then we'll do the ones on this side. Yeah. Oh, I see. There's only one little one there. Into there. Into there. Whew. Next. It's an interesting thing. These are not exactly the same on either side. Not quite sure why that is, but it is a thing. Whew. Okay. Bottom one. Once I've gotten one of these done, I'll give you a zoom in so as you can see. And then once I've got them both done, I'll give you another zoom in. Or maybe I should just wait till I've got them both done. I don't know. I'll wait till I've got them both done. Now, almost there on this side. All right. So where I'm at the moment with these, you can see I've done half of them, but as in one side. Now the plan is that I now go in from this side and across to meet the point where I've already got the aluminium or the steel color and make it look much nicer. But you probably can't even see the difference. That's kind of distress making, but I think it does make it look cleaner, more defined if I paint them. Anyway, because all they actually had on them that made them stick out was surfacer. And that's not really cutting the mustard now, is it? Oh, hang on, that's rather a good angle. Which one's that? Okay, yeah, we can do that. That's a good angle. Maybe I'll see exactly what I'm doing. Almost done. Okay, and a few more, but not many. Now, all right, that's that one. Hang on, let me. Couple of little tidy ups required in there, but you know, that's pretty good effort thus far. Now we go. Almost there. And whoops, might want to zoom out just a touch, hey? Now, one more beam on this side, and that's done. And that beam is this one. Whew. All right. So that's that one done. Actually, it does look nicer for that effort. I'm pleased with it. Now I just got to finish that one. This angle. Mouthful of coffee required, I think. Oh, yeah. Now, one, two, three. Okay. All right. All right. Right. That's that one done. And then this one. And then we're done on this one. And actually, you know what? There's a few things we can consider afterwards, but we'll leave the discussion until, well, afterwards. So some speculation into. Anyway, let's stop speculating and just get our mind on the job, shall we? And finally, whoops, that's okay, can fix. Notwithstanding a couple of touch-ups, I'm going to bring them both in and focus. There's our wheel wells, looking pretty tidy. Pretty happy with that, actually. All right, that's them done. Now, what I was speculating on, they are on the same bit of sprue. There's a couple of bits here that often on aircraft are actually aluminium outside of the zinc chromate. I'm pondering as to whether I want to do that or just leave it zinc chromate. The mysteries of life. Rubbing. I'll show you the bits I'm talking about. See those little divots? I'm wondering whether to make them oily steel as well. Or whether just to leave them. What I could do, well, first let's clean this brush so it doesn't get claggy. Should zoom out. I have an idea. I do have them occasionally, you know. Oh, hey, Big Racer, how you doing? Now, next. Yes. Before I start getting myself distracted, and whilst I think too, I'm going to take my goggles off. Get my goggles off. Whoa. Can't believe I did that one. Now, what was the next one? Yes, there's a few in fact. So, next was null oil time. Ding, 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 ding. Null time. Over here. Oh, hang on. Hang on. How thick is that? Pretty thick. Now, where am I putting it? It might not matter. It's thick and gluggy if I'm putting it on that and on the wheels. What I might do. Give me a moment, guys. Where is? Here is. I might put some thinner in that and stir it with the tail end of one of my yucky brushes. Just because it's pretty gluggy at the moment, which is not ideal for our intents and purposes. So, yeah, you can see it's very gluggy. Might put more in if I can. Yeah, we're going to be needing more thinner than that enough, if we can. Do I have more in here? No. Do I have more in? I do. Let's see if I can extract that easily enough. Alright, let's see how we go stirring that around. So I want to null them up before I, or the engine part at least. I suppose I don't need to null the wheels immediately, but I'd like to just to see how they look. That's better. Yeah. Depending on how it goes with the engine will affect as to whether I go to then put it on the wheels. We'll see. Now, first port of call, however, is here. Now, that done. Hey, Jeff, how are you doing? Now, pop that here. Just trying to thin this right out. Yeah, I'm not putting that on the wheels. I don't think. We'll see. Oh, we'll see. Getting quite a lot off of it. Now we're getting there. Around the edges. Now it's okay for the engine, but again, I don't think I want to put it on the wheels until I get some. But you can see it's all grungy. And once that dries, it'll look a bit nice, but I don't want that heavy oil effect on the wheels on Monday, I reckon. Actually, that's looking quite nice now. Now that's the engine backboard. Once that dries, we'll actually put the engine together. Oh, that's what that is. So yeah, and in fact, to that end, Bing, zoom out. Let's just rinse these brushes. Rinse. Next, we shall now. What was I had next in my mind? That was it. Give me a moment. Let me just move that over to there. Engine. 29 and 28. So 29 goes on first. Alright. Now 29 goes into the back of 28. So let's have a look at that, shall we? Rip, rip, and bing. So, I see, said the blind man. Now, give me a moment just to confirm, and being my usual pedantic self. Okay, yep. Now, 29, sprue cutter. And snip, and snip, bam, and bam, and bam. Now, I might just zoom out a bit because I don't think you're seeing too much at the moment. And that's seeing even less. Now, here's our two parts. This one will go quite neatly, I would suggest, into here. If I get the angle right, that is good. Oh, look, that's going to be, hang on, not quite as nice as I thought. Which could just be that I've got my angle wrong. Oh, there we go. Oh, that's a very sexy engine, I tell you. Now let's glue it. There we go. Let's just glue that in. Now, and give me a moment. We shall hit that with once that's dried, we'll put this together in its entirety. Now, glue. Oh no, it's just a question of getting it at the right angle, wasn't it? Yeah, there we go. And there, and alrighty, lid on, and then all right. So here, let me just go right the way around the back. Is our engine. Boom. Now, in fact, we can even leak new, I reckon. Yeah, we're doing this. This then goes on to, well, once it goes on, is there a correct angle here? Yes, there is. That would be why. Like so. Boom. There we go. Now, will this come off? Let that dry. And in fact, you know what? I'll probably just leave it like that. Why? For the same reason a dog licks its balls. It's a pretty snug fit as it is. If I go about it the right way, it's not going to be an issue. Boom. Next. Okay, so that's that together. This is good. We're making good progress today. I'm happy with this. We've got our seat together. We've got that part of it together. Next. I would want to varnish. Here's something I wouldn't mind doing. Give me a moment, guys. I want to do a quick Google search on the wheel well of Corsair F4U wheel well. I just want images. That's not what I'm looking for. Yes, done that. This is not the information I seek. Ah! Oh God, why if they don't have that colour there? Never mind. This might be. Right. I'm just looking at the way it's been done in other instances. Okay, no. I'm also looking for images of real wheel wells so that I can see if it's really necessitates that I do this. It looks like I don't. No, we're going to just keep that as it is, which is to say, oh, hey Lars, how you doing? We will be just leaving it straight. What I'm talking about here is these things, the wheel flaps. I've been postulating that because of those little ridges that maybe I should do some oily steel in there, but everybody else who's done one of these has left them the same color. So this I will now do. Next on our agenda, well, any number of things. Aha! Some interior green is required. Let's get this part of the kit done. Now. And you'll see what we've got after that. Got a few things. Yes, yes we do. Ah, I see something else we can do potentially. But first, this is a Tamiya 1:72 Corsair F4U. As with all Tamiya kits, it's a very nice little fit. It's got good detail. I've used Eduard Photo Etch, which is an aftermarket thing, obviously, which has helped deliver some really good detail on top of that Tamiya supplies. There's a few little bells and whistles still to go in, but yeah. Now, how's this mixing? Really soon, but not yet. Not now, but soon. Now, well, we are getting places. This is good. Bit more, just for good, just for my own personal edification. And then we'll get on to some other stuff. Most importantly, this being the headrest. Beginner plane. I would recommend, based on my experience, a really simple option would be a single engine fighter in 1:72. The detail's not too savage, unless you choose to make it savage, which I do, but that's me. You don't have to. This is the joy. Look, straight out, a good starter level kit when you're just trying to sort of like work a few things out. Get yourself something like a 1:72 Spitfire or Mustang or Messerschmitt. Jets can be a little tricksy, but just get yourself a single engine fighter, something nice and simple. Like I said, 1:72. The thing with the bigger scales, I think, is that there's two things that happen. One, there's a lot more detail. And ooh, got a little carried away with my amount of paint there, never mind. And that can be, you can get really bogged down with that. Now, if you want to do that, that's fine. I mean, hell, it's what I do, man. But when you're first starting out, that may be a little bit, what's the word I'm looking for? Daunting, perhaps. That's not a bad one. We'll roll with daunting. And if you're looking at the bigger engine, multiple engine sort of stuff, that can get really tricky from the viewpoint of a small error in the early stages of assembly can really punish you. Because, as an example, I'm sorry if I'm waffling here and give you way more information than you require. What'll happen is, say, here we go, on a Lancaster, Airfix Lancaster, we'll use that as a good example. Now, 4-engine heavy bomber, and the way it's structured, you have struts that go through to support the wings, and if they're not correct, and early on it might seem like, oh, it's just a little bit out, but what can happen is that you go, oh yeah, it's only a little bit out, she'll be right. Well, you can tell I'm Australian with that little effort of a line, can't you? But then you go to put the wings on and they're not sitting right, or any number of other issues might arise, or it might ultimately even result in difficulties. And once that difficulty starts, it just goes, it escalates. The first Lanc I built, I made some, what are now in retrospect probably howling errors. I managed to fix them, but you get the point. It's a lot harder. So that's my take on it. Yeah. Start off with a single engine, then move to either jets or multiple engine or whatever else you want. But cut your eye teeth on something simple. All right, we're getting places with this. My pleasure to help me with any information you require there, Lars. If you have other questions, feel free. I'm quite happy to share what I've learned in my time doing this hobby, because it's a marvelous little hobby. Yes, it is. Fortunately, I have a lot of hobbies. I view it as fortunate. There we go. Might just get my goggles on to make sure I've got nice and close to that headrest. I'm Australian, mate. I'm from, more specifically, a state called, and I'm pretty sure you'll be able to work out where this is, South Australia. So yeah, don't know if you've ever been to Australia, but yeah. I've got a little heavy-handed here, but that touch-up is so minor. It's not bothering me. It's just something that needs to be done. Just on the edge there of the headrest. Never mind. Never mind. All right. So here's our where is it? There. Headrest. So I need to put my hand behind it. It's just going to stay blurry. And yeah. I'm guessing, with a name like Lars, that you are from one of the Northern European countries. Now, next. I have a cunning plan. Well, it's not that cunning, to be honest. But never mind. Well, now that's what I was going to do first. First, I'll clean the brush. That's what goes without saying. Gut. Ich lerne Deutsch, ja? Here we go. Dein Englisch ist sehr gut. Now, me, well, I fish, as in go fishing. I play bass guitar. Actually, wait, I can do this even better. Fischen und Bass Gitarre spielen. Ich gern gucken. Let me see. What else would I classify as one of my good hobbies that I just get in and do? Schwimmen. They're my big ones. Now, there we go. Now, what I require very quickly to locate is, give me a moment. Where is? It'll probably be in the clear parts, I would think. What I'm looking for, just so as you know, is a little rubber seal. Now, not spotting the little rubber seal. That's okay. I have a few options as to whether I either A, just don't give a shit on the cards, or B, because what the seal does is it holds the propeller in place so as you can turn it slowly. That's the bottom line. Now, I've misplaced that, I can tell you right now. but that is not disastrous in my eyes. Because we just have one more look in a space locations. Maybe no, I didn't think so. All right, now that being said, our next port of call, come over there, come here, you, and boom. And so what are your hobbies, Lars? Now that goes that way. So you get over here. That. I see. Now let me have a close look at this for a moment. I see. That way. All right. Now, sprue cutters. Me, let me work it out. I started in 2020. I know because, or no, it was then, because the school I was working, we had to go through various COVID things. Yeah, it was, oh no. Oh, hang on. I think I put this the wrong way around. Oh no. Oh no. Hang on. Oh no. Hang on, let's work this out. I have, I think. Shit. Stay cool, big boy. Okay. So it's meant to be that way. Jesus, glad I saw that in time. We'll pop that here. Lego's kind of funky stuff, I think. Mate of mine is very much into his Lego, but he hasn't done anything for a long time. He's just been too busy. But he's got like a Lego space shuttle, and a Lego Apollo thing, and another big Lego one. He was, when we were kids, I was into plastic still, even then, but you play, as a kid, of course, you play with them, which is not great for the longevity and survival rate of your kids. And also, they were just, in retrospect, I mean, they were kids. I was a kid. They look like they were made by kids. These ones I take a bit more, I'm a bit more fastidious because I'm a grown-up. But yeah, he was always the Lego, and trains were his thing as well. So yeah, trains are cool. Now, might want to take a break fairly soon. That's me, because I've been going for a little while. But I definitely want to fix this thing here up, get this on, and then there's one I can do. But first, let's get this on. That goes that way, doesn't it? Boom. All right. So then you go. Oh, look at that. Snug as a bug. Yeah, nice. Engine with cap. Yeah, boom. There we go. So they come together quite nicely there. Yeah, look, that's another thing about Lego. You can actually some stuff, because I mean, it's like anything. It gets to the status of classic kit. That's the way around I should have gone. Bit annoyed with myself. Never mind. All right, let's see if that'll sort of slide on in nice and easy for us, or do I need to get the scalpel out again? I think I need the scalpel out again. Yeah, I do. Okay, did that to myself. Very annoying. Never mind. There we go. That should do it. Oh, good one. That's okay. Part of it broke. You may or may not have seen that. And that's still too thick. And what we'll do, that's okay. That's a bit annoying. How best to approach this? Easy, I think. I should glue that other part back on, I think. Problem. It may break when I go to handle it. We're putting that part in. Then we'll deal with the rest in due course. All right. All right, that's a bit annoying. Never mind. Here's a question. Am I overthinking this? Answer possibly. Assembly sheets. How far out does that stick? There's a way we might be able to get an assessment on this. Give me a moment. What I'm trying to work out here. Okay, yeah. It is supposed to go further in than that. How much further? Now it's in position. And pretty stable. But now I'm prepared to suggest, if I glue that correctly, that little strut that goes pretty much actually underneath the seat need not be my concern. There's something else I can see, because you're not going to see it. So that's actually okay. Let's just get that one properly glued in position. That would be a good idea. Oop, you can't see what I was doing there. I'm sorry, guys. I do have an IG account, Lars. I'm a bit slack on the uploading of stuff, but yeah, if you search Robster the Builder, as opposed to Rob the Builder, Robster the Builder, that is me. I'm also on, oh, you're seeing me on Twitch, so you would see me as Robster the Builder. So it's the same on Instagram. On YouTube, because I'm also on YouTube, and that's where a lot of people do watch me, I'm Rob the Builder. Feel free to track me down in any of those. There we go. All right. Now, as I said, because of its positioning, I'm quite confident in just letting that dry properly. And once that is dried, I don't think I really, that stem that goes out the back there ultimately would disappear under the chair. So I'm inclined to think, you know what? I see nothing. I see nothing. Yeah. All right. Now, what else can I think of doing? There we go. This one. And you know, I'm starting to get to that point of winding things up because I'm because I've been concentrating for a while, getting a wee bit frazzled. Now, oops, 7 and 8, no, 3 and 4. How the hell did I get 7 and 8 out of that? 3 and 4. Okay, which goes well that way. I would be thinking that 4 goes on the left. Let's find out. Indeed. So this we will now do. Okay. Oh, every time I check something, I usually have some sort of minor brain fart as to which is the correct number. 3, 4. That's kind of curious. For reasons best known to themselves, maybe it looks differently when it's on the complete sprue, but they've got the right hand one on my left, the one that goes on the left hand on my right. How does this roll? I'm curious. Anyway, so what we will do is eins, zwei, come here you go. Quick file there. Actually, no. Yeah, but and then tweezers. I see how this goes. That's rather good of them. They supply us with this neat little niche for it to go into, so that you can be sure that it is in the correct position. Oh, go Tamiya. Oh, that looks good. Happy with that. Very happy with that. Even without glue it's staying in. But let's see if we can. There we go. Yeah, let's glue it properly. So that's some pretty swish work by the chappies at Tamiya. that way. Und da. Yeah, nice. Once I've got the other one in, I'll give you a zoom in on what's going on there. Basically what we're doing is getting our wheel wells looking swish. Swish. Now, this one into there. We are traveling along well. Now, glue. Actually, I should make sure that it's fitting as nicely as the other one before I do that. It's a bold assumption to suggest. You don't see, there we go. It's always one, as they say. Cunty. Is it just me being clumsy? Possibly. Now, let's get, there we go. And up and in. Aha. Oh, you bitch of a thing. Ah. This is not being so cooperative. Oh, no, there we felt it click. And there we go. All right. I do definitely have the right way around, don't I? Just for my, again, as always, checking for my own edification. And at that point, we're traveling well. So let's just glue this in. Come here. Now, whoop. I generally build my aircraft with the wheels with the wheels out so that I can have them standing on display. I find the idea of I've never really fully managed to. I don't have the space to or anywhere to put them on in the flying sort of situation. You can, of course, buy stands by Airfix, and and their kits will often come with little. You can sort of create an option on how to make it look like it's flying, but I generally go with the wheels in. And there we go on our wheel wells. Now I'll give you a slightly different angle like this one perhaps. There we go. Oh, that's looking actually pretty good. I'm pretty happy with that. A couple of little tidy ups here and there, but you know, looky that. Happy with that. Very happy with that actually. All right. I'm going to call that stumps. For those who are unfamiliar with the term, stumps means you're finishing. Yeah, thanks, Lars. Now, along with that, I'll show you some other stuff I got done today. Now, what did I get done today? The engine, obviously. Put my hand behind it so you get a better view. It's that way around. Now. Oh, why you little? Hang on. There we go. Can I bring it up close and get... There we go. That's not a bad view. So there's our engine, complete with spinner cover. Got our wheel well and or footrest and dash organised. We've got a bit of photo etch still to get on this, but what I'm happy about is that now that I need to reglue that a little, but with all the other stuff in position and trimmed out, because what can happen is if you're fiddling with stuff, delicate items can get broken, and I didn't want the photo etch to get caned, so I did that first. As in, because that photo etch that's got to go on is very delicate, very fiddly. And having done it this way, I have the advantage I can actually hold it like that. What else did we get done today? Something. Let me see if I can spot what it was. It was something. Oh yeah, a headrest area. Boom. And yeah, that was it. We got a bit done. Alrighty. Thank you, Lars. Alrighty. Now, as I said, that is me done for today. Now, first-time viewers, you know the drill. Follow, like, or subscribe. If you'd like to track me down on other platforms, I'm Rob the Builder on Facebook and YouTube, and Robster the Builder on Instagram, Twitch, and Discord. Thank you, David. Now, tomorrow I will be back continuing work on the Corsair. Bassman may or may not be with us. We will find out. I know he had to go to the shops today. These are the things. Now, yes, as I said, tomorrow I'll be back. And at the end of the day, all I really need to say is that it will be at a similar kit time and on the same kit channel. Yeah, I'll hopefully catch you soon, Lars. Have a good day. Yeah, and yes, good night, everybody else for watching. Thanks. My pleasure, David. Thanks to everyone for watching. And hopefully I'll catch you all tomorrow. See yous.